Lucille Cornelius, thanks for being with Phoenix.
Thank you so much for having me. Really, real pleasure to be here.
So regarding NATO, they say they are meeting here to keep Europe safe and peaceful. Why do you view this so differently?
Well, NATO should have been dissolved after the Second World War. And they call themselves a peacekeeping coalition, but actually they have been going throughout the world, fueling bombs, destroying entire other nations, even here in Europe, Yugoslavia, going into Africa, attacking Libya. This is not a peacekeeping organization. War is war, and we must call it such. We cannot call war peace.
So there is war in Europe at the moment. Russia is invading Ukraine for more than 3 years. What would be your solution to stop Vladimir Putin other than being against NATO?
Of course, it's not just about being against NATO, but it's changing the conversation. When have we stopped talking? There is a time for war and there's a time for peace. And this time in the earth is time for peace. So we need to start talking. We need to start engaging the other countries. Instead of treating them with disrespect, we need to engage them and understand what is really going on and stop antagonizing them by sending bombs and fueling the war instead of thinking about the civilians that are being murdered every day.
Thinking about the civilians, there are people in Europe that are new NATO civilians and NATO members, for example, Sweden and Finland. They wanted to be part of this coalition. They wanted to be safe in NATO because of the Russian aggression. So do you see also the chances for peace that lies in an alliance like NATO?
I don't think so, because we can't say something with our mouths and do something else with our hands. If you're speaking peace, you really need to be peaceful. You cannot be forcing the entire continent to be using 5% of their GDP, even small, poor countries using their GDP, instead of taking their people's needs into consideration and using that for bombs and for killing other people. It's a ridiculous notion. So I see where Finland and Sweden come from. I can understand. But the truth of the matter is, Russia has been put there as a distraction for years and years and years. And we've been told that they are going to bomb us, they're going to kill us, and
they're doing it in Ukraine?
They're doing it in Ukraine, but I think that issue was a completely different one from what is being spun by NATO, that Russia is the aggressor and then they're going to come for the rest of Europe. It's been happening since the Second World War, and I think we need to change the narrative. Let's engage Russia. Let's start talking instead of doing these kinds of things.
Final question. Do you think that Vladimir Putin, who says no to a ceasefire, who says no to stop bombing civilians in Ukraine, do you think talking to him is a good idea at this moment?
I think every war eventually ends in talks. It always ends in talks. If we look historically, war doesn't work. It's not a solution to anything. So of course he has to be open to talking. I think also engaging people from other regions that are not invested in this region could help to change his mind and engage him in proper, respectful talks, negotiations, and change the way he is treating his neighbors.
Thank you for your perspective on this NATO summit here in Den Haag. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marc, and thanks for having me.